Thank you, Mr. DeWitt. Our next panelist is Robert Politzer. He's the president and founder of Green Street Construction. And under Mr. Politzer's leadership, Green Street has grown from a small environmental testing and abatement company to a leading green building firm, which operates in the tri-state area. He has many credentials. Was chair of the Sustainable Business Task Force of the New York State Environmental Business Association. Actually, a former New York City public high school teacher. Wow. All right, that's right. That's maybe the most impressive of all the credentials. And he is adjunct professor at the NYU and New York City Technical College. And looks like he wants to get started. So I'm going to hand over the microphone to Dr. Politzer.
Thank you very much. See, that's the benefit of coming. I got my honorary doctor's degree. Right? Thanks. That's great. I'll take it. Hello, everyone. Again, Robert Politzer. Let me start with a quick question. I'm a former high school teacher, so I like to get a little interaction going. I know it's a Sunday morning, but we'll see what we can drum up here. So if I ask the question, what is a green building? What is a green building? Anybody want to offer up a suggestion what we're talking about? One with green paint on the outside, okay? Anybody else?
Green building is a building that maximizes savings on energy.
Maximizing savings on energy. You're an educated consumer. That's great. Yes, that's one big part of green building. Energy efficiency. I'll talk about that in a moment. But there's a whole evolutionary process behind the evolution of this industry, and energy efficiency was one of the main impetuses or forces moving towards this direction. Anyone else? Yes.
I'd say also that it would include whatever is going on in there that is being done in an environmentally sensitive way. So recycling is being done and other things that would help the environment.
So we want to construct buildings and renovate in a way that minimizes the impact on the larger environment. Hopefully someday we'll get to where buildings can even be regenerative, where buildings can even perhaps help to improve on local environmental conditions. Perhaps that's what people are shooting for. Anybody else? What a green building is?
Maybe.
What's that?
Or maybe green insulation or products themselves are non-toxic.
Okay, products are non-toxic. So the issue of healthy indoor environmental quality and comfort, well-being for occupants. I don't know if you folks realize this, but these days the average American spends 90% of our time indoors. You know that? 90% of our time indoors. And yet, of all the EPA regulations for air quality, there's really not a single substantive regulation for indoor air quality. We got all kinds of regulations for outdoor air quality, but none for indoor air quality. So the air quality of the building of a home is a very important part of a green building. So the point I want you to keep in mind is this, is that a building or a home is a whole system, like a body, like a human body. And yes, I'm passionate about energy efficiency. However, you have to consider that when you are going to do a significant renovation or new construction, you want to look at the whole building. Yes, you want to look at energy performance, but you also want to look at indoor environmental quality. You also want to look at the impact of the building to the larger environment. We'll get to that in a moment. Historically, what have been some of the big challenges to green design or sustainable design? Basically the same thing. First cost or perception. Let me see a show of hands. Who thinks it costs more to build green? Okay, all right. And the answer is it depends. It depends on the type of project. It depends on, to a great extent, the team that you have, or the team that the building has, to design and construct that building. Because if you have a team that has a lot of expertise in high-performance green building, and they work together in a design-build collaborative, it doesn't have to cost more. In fact, we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but there is an organization called the U.S. Green Building Council, USGBC, and they formed a green building certification program called LEED. Have you heard of LEED? Anybody heard of LEED? Good, okay. Before you leave with your last bagel, we want to make sure that if you carry nothing else away from you, you'll know what LEED means. Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. It is the foremost green building certification program now in the world, and is a tremendously helpful, very powerful program, and it helps to ensure that a building will be more green. It'll be higher performing in energy performance and better indoor environmental quality. Very important program. The people at the U.S. Green Building Council are finding that a building built to LEED Silver standard, which is the second level tier, in the LEED program there's different shades of green. There's basic certification, there's LEED Silver, there's LEED Gold, and there's LEED Platinum. Different shades of green. If you go to the middle level, LEED Silver, they are finding that these buildings that are now being built do not cost more than a conventional building, and save the building owners a lot of money, long-term, in all kinds of different ways. So now if you get to the higher levels, yes, it's going to cost more. Okay? If you can do your home, it depends. And we do a lot of high-end residential construction, and we have people spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on plumbing fixtures, on crown molding, mahogany crown, things like this, right? So, priorities are also something to consider. So there is this perception that it costs more money to build green, but that's not necessarily true, especially when you have a good quality design construction team. Would you agree?
I would agree.
We have a sustainable design architect in the audience here, Jacinder, and when you got a good team together, it doesn't have to cost more money. Okay, so supply chain, this used to be a problem. Now, it still is a problem. If you want to go buy some low odor paints or polyurethanes, or you want to get some recycled glass countertop, and you drive down the block to your local hardware store or your local kitchen and bath supplier, it's unlikely that they're going to be carrying this stuff. Yes? Right? This is still a big problem. You see, the biggest problem of all, folks, is that we have a market in place. We have a market of suppliers, of contractors, and it's not easy to change the materials and the products that people sell and the materials and products that people install. So we're still in the relatively early stages, which makes it a little bit more difficult. However, it's much easier to source, to find these materials now. They're coming down in price, the performance is improving. There are more suppliers coming online. I guarantee you 5 years from now, you're going to walk into a Lowe's or a Home Depot, and at a minimum, you're going to have a section of the store like an organic food section where there are going to be green building products. I guarantee you that's coming. I'm shocked that it hasn't come yet, but I guarantee you that's coming soon. Okay, so this is getting easier and easier, and the products are improving, the cost is coming down. Just like the march of any technology. Remember what cell phones used to be like 5 years ago? Right? Now we got things like the iPhone. And I like to say, green building is like the iPhone. Right? It's this advanced technology you're talking about, folks. You just got to make sure that the people operating the telephone know how to use it right. And then you get all the extra benefits. Product performance is improving. Aesthetics. There's this perception of green buildings got a thatched hut, with a wood-burning stove in the middle of it, or, a place to burn a fire or something, the teepee kind of mentality. The fact of the matter is that you can do anything green today. We're doing the penthouse at 1 Fifth Avenue right now, okay? That's a high-end project, and we have all kinds of green building materials and methods that we've implemented for that project. Just so happens this client is this world-class international business tycoon guy, and he's got very, very expensive tastes. So I'll give you an example. Does it cost more? Right? I'm going to wait to see the reaction here. So we're doing a floor. There's about 3,500 square feet in this place. Now, he had bamboo flooring in his apartment that we tore up and we found a new home for, by the way. I'm very proud of. We could have reinstalled new bamboo flooring